Copies of these documents can be found at my private group at Yahoo called Administering Your Public Servants. For a complete set of YouTube videos with private information shares, a DVD with over 50 searchable law dictionaries, and other books and forms, contact me privately at engineerwin@yahoo.com. And donations to support this work are appreciated. I prefer gold or silver coin. This last paragraph for all the Satanist order follower revenue officers operating in their private capacity under the Federal Tax Lien Act of 1966, because I prefer gold or silver coin. But as an extremely less desirable alternative, I can accept the IOUs, the Federal Reserve notes, the PayPal gifts, the checks, the money orders. Send me an email for particulars.
Hey everybody, this one is about habeas corpus training. Okay, now I got to qualify this. This is a habeas corpus for state, not federal. Federal is going to be different. They actually have some preset forms that they make you use, and so yeah, they force you to pay some extortion, so they can fabricate evidence of their slave. So this is just for state, and this is actually a non-statutory one too. If you do it by statute, you're saying you're one of the slaves. Now you don't have to use this form. Okay, you can handwrite it. You don't have to use these court citations. Of course, if you handwrite it, then there's no need to use any court citations. But the arguments are the same.
And don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. And don't forget to follow me on VidMe. And the link to my VidMe channel is right there at VidMe, at Sovereignty International at VidMe. VidMe.com, actually. But anyway, so don't forget to follow me on Steemit at Sovereignty International. And if you follow me on Steemit, let me know and I'll follow you. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget on YouTube, don't forget to click the bell next to the subscribe button so you're notified when there's a new upload. On VidMe, don't forget to upvote this video. And on Steemit, don't forget to vote and make your comments. This is my YouTube channel, and you notice the arrow's pointing at the bell. You click on the bell, a little window will pop up, and you got to check a box that says OK, and click OK so that you're notified of new uploads. This is Steemit, and you see where the first arrow on the left is pointing at this up arrow. That's where you can upvote. The middle arrow tells you how many have voted. And the right arrow is where you can add in comments, and so I'm putting up postings. Basically, it's a blurb on a video, and I attach the video, and so then you can watch the video on YouTube. But all that's on Steemit, and you can make comments, and they like comments on Steemit. This is also on Steemit. This is actually another user called Crypto Wallet, and if you notice my mouse, the little hand there on my mouse is over touching the Crypto Wallet, and this menu, this little pop-up, this little menu comes up, and that's where you can unfollow or follow someone, and that's how it works on Steemit, and
And this is actually the top form. This is actually a package of forms. There's the writ of habeas corpus, which is signed by the court clerk, and then you serve it on and this is where the certificate of service is. That you serve it on the pigs that have you in their commercial jail. This is here their response. So you provide their response, and then this is the actual claim of writ of habeas corpus. This is actually one that I've modified that was done by someone that actually worked, and except that I've added in some things. and but this actually worked, got somebody out of jail. So anyways, so let's go through it. First of all, if you want me to get involved, first of all, also another thing to keep in mind is that you can, as a friend, do one for your friend that's in jail, okay? They don't have to do it, okay? In jail, they don't even necessarily give you paper or pen. So a lot of times when people that are in there don't have access to anything. And so they're slaves, okay? That's these Satanists, that's what they do. Anyway, so you can do one for someone else, and I'll show you how that's done at the end here.
Announcing a subscription-based YouTube channel called Sovereignty International. The recommended cost of the subscription is currently $1.99 because it avoids the advertising only. But you can, if you like my work, it can be a donation. The only reason it avoids the advertising is because my agenda is to expose these New World Order Satanists and the fraud, because their only power over us is through fraud and deception. And my agenda is to expose it for all our benefit. And so that's for that reason. There's not going to be much exclusive content on that channel. There is some, and we're going to go through some of it here in a minute. But there's not going to be as much as, you know, if I really wanted to make a lot of money off the thing and wasn't concerned about notifying people, then I would do it that way, or I would have it all exclusive. Anyways, I'm currently publishing 3 videos a week on the subscription channel and 2 videos a week on the free channel. Some people have had trouble finding the channel. A link to the channel is at the bottom. And some of the stuff that's on the channel is that's exclusive is Arlington Private Information Chair, my land deed training, my estoppel certificates training, foreclosure estoppel certificates training, corporate denial training, toll road notice and demand training, invoice training, notice of void judgment training, revocation of signature training, and third-party witness training are all on there, and they're all exclusive to that channel. Some upcoming exclusive content is lawsuit training, criminal complaint training, and other training, depending on what people request. I'm open to ideas. This is the front page of my subscription channel, and if you notice, the top arrow is pointing at the address, the URL. So if you have trouble finding it, you can just manually type that in. The bottom arrow is pointing at the Start Free Trial button, and the reason is because some people actually sent me a $1.99 donation, and I wasn't sure what that was for. I was thinking that they wanted me to subscribe them to the channel, and I have absolutely no control over subscribers. I can't even see all the subscribers. So if you want to subscribe to the channel, you'll have to click on the Start Free Trial button. I imagine YouTube is going to want to get payment information or something from you in order to go through with the process. But that's the only way that it can happen. So, you know, I wound up sending those people an email and offered to refund their $1.99, although they didn't respond, so I guess that means it was a gift. But anyway, so the bottom line is that if you want to subscribe, you know, that's how you have to do it.
But if you want me, I'm available to help with this stuff. But again, I've been out of work for 4 years. If you want me to help, I need a donation. And so then if you do get me to help, what will happen is you'll prepare it and fix it up the way as good as you can, and then send it to me, and then I will click on this review tab. You see up here at the top where it says review and where it says track changes there, click on that track changes tab. And so then any changes that I make will be reflected in the document. So then say, for example, you're not in Grand Prairie, Texas, you're in Fort Worth, Texas. And so so you can see how the changes are reflected. So then, you know, all of this stuff, and it's going to be a different court. in the county court of Tarrant County, and Tarrant County, Texas. And so, you know, the chief of police is going to be different. There's going to be a lot of things that'll be different. And so, and then say, for example, if you have something in there that I have a concern about, but I don't know how to change it, then what I'll do is I'll click on new comment up here. And that actually highlighted this Tarrant County. But if you have a particular area that you want to bring to my attention, then you just highlight it like that and click new comment, right? And so then comment. You make your comment. And then if I have a response, you know, I'll click on the same thing. And I'll make a comment, right? So it's going to be the same thing. Now, when it comes time to deleting the comments, all you do is you move your mouse over top of the comment and do a right click. And you can see here in the menu that comes up, it's delete the comment, okay? And so the same thing here, delete the comment, delete the comment. So if you see comments and you don't know how to delete them, that's how you do it. And then also, as far as when you move your mouse over the changes, see, notice that this user, it says Windows user, which see, I don't log into, I don't have in my Microsoft Word, it's validated, but it's, you know, I don't put any information in there. Anyways, so it shows who made the change, and so then if you move your mouse over that, it's deleted, right? And so we're going to just undo all of this stuff. So we'll reject the deletion, and then we'll reject the change. See, if you do a right click again, and whoops, see, now it's coming up with this grammar thing, okay, and I'll tell you how to fix that. Let's see what happens over here. See, it says, because it's their words are run together, it's saying, you got a problem with your grammar. And so, again, down here, you can accept or reject it. We'll reject it, and we'll reject that one. And so then, if there's stuff like this that you can't change, or like you see on the vertical line over here on the left-hand side, that shows all the changes. So sometimes maybe there's a vertical line here and you can't see the change. So then all you do is you accept or reject right here. You can reject them all or accept them all. See that? You click on that down arrow and you can reject them all, or you can reject them one at a time. Or on that arrow, you can reject them all or reject them one at a time. What we're going to do in this case is we'll reject all changes and put it back the way it was.
CubeYard.com. For great custom websites, domain names, and hosting, go to CubeYard.com. Use coupon code CY172 for 20% off your first order. CubeYard.com, your source for websites, domain names, and hosting.
So anyway, so you got to go through and fix it the way you want it. The name's going to be different. The name of the chief of police is going to be different. And so you go through, and the stuff that's highlighted, actually this should be highlighted here too. So I got track changes turning on, so it's recording the change, right? And so I'll go back and fix that later. Anyways, so then you got to serve it on the parties, and then this is the document that they're going to use to respond. They're going to say whatever, and they can make up their own too, of course. But that's their response, and then this is the actual petition or the claim of habeas corpus. And so it's an affidavit format, and so then you always put in the stuff about everything is true and correct and not hearsay, and you have standing capacity, you have personal first-hand knowledge, you're a living soul, holder of the office of the people, you're not a corporation, fictitious entity, actually, Sesticate Trust, state or citizen of the District of Columbia. So we added that in. I would put that in for sure. So we'll just right click that right now and accept that. Anyways, I always like this little paragraph 7, the use of any statutes, codes, rules, regulations, or court citations with any document created by the claimant at any time is only notice that which is applicable to government officials and not intended nor shall it be construed to mean the claimant has conferred to, submitted to, or entered into any jurisdiction alluded to thereby. That's true. Okay, if you don't put that statement in there, then you've entered into a jurisdiction. Absolutely. You got to be aware of that. Anyway, so you just go down here. This document, this file is going to be in the files directory of the Yahoo group, so you can download it and use it as needed. Anyways, there's no, everything is hearsay, so then that's claimant is not a government employee, U.S. citizen with no excess Federal Reserve notes. Okay. Actually, you've already said up here about the Sestake Trust, so that's fine. No evidence has been introduced into the case other than hearsay evidence, it's talking about the U.S. citizens treated as if residing in the District of Columbia, which brings in the Admiralty courts, and how this National Mutual Insurance Company, the jurisdiction expands. It just goes down point for point about everything that I talk about in my videos, and this is only like the actual claim of writ is well, the whole thing's 13 pages, and so the first 4 pages are the court document that the clerk signs or stamps and signs, and then the document that you serve on the chief of the pigs. And so, and then they're using the Federal Tax Lien Act of 1966. See, that creates the presumption and all sorts of presumptions. Okay. And some of this stuff may not apply in your state, like this Attorney General Maddox. You could modify that, say the Texas Attorney General if you're like in Nebraska or something, and because it applies still. Okay, but it's up to you. Okay, whether you keep it. Okay, you got to remember this is your document. It's not mine. You have to make all the changes. You have to accept responsibility for it. And so this is a document that I used that worked. I've made some changes to it. But again, your document has to be yours, and you have to accept responsibility. If there's anything that you're uncomfortable with, then you got to take it out. Okay, that's the bottom line. If you're not completely comfortable with something in here, you got to take it out. Don't do it. Anyways, so then it talks about how a motor vehicle is only carrying passengers or property for hire, and that they're tax collectors, okay, and that it's unconstitutional for them to bring the Uniform Commercial Code into Texas or anywhere else. They have no authority to use Unidroid in America. They're imposing a quasi-contract, okay, because of some perceived privilege or benefit, and it talks about quasi-contracts, and then a pecuniary, okay. Let's see here. Actually, we need to. Oh no. We'll leave that. We'll put it back the way it was. Anyways, penal or penalty, okay, which is these are all pecuniary statutes that they're assaulting you with. The words penal and penalty in their strict and primary sense denote a punishment, whether corporal or pecuniary, imposed and enforced by the state for a crime offense against the law. The noun penalty is defined forfeiture to be forfeited for non-compliance with an agreement. Okay, where's the contract? There is no contract. And then a penal action is a civil suit brought for recovery of statutory forfeiture when inflicted as punishment for against the public. Such actions are civil actions, and one closely related to criminal prosecutions and the other to actions for private injuries. Okay, so this is all private. Okay, where's the contract? By assaulting the claimant with their U.S. Satanic trust. It just goes down step by step. But again, if you're not completely comfortable with it, don't use it. Okay, don't make the arguments. Okay, what I would do is if I was handwriting this thing, I wouldn't include any of the court citations. I would just write in all of the text other than the court citations, except that like here where it talks about the UCC 3.308 and UCC 1.206, I would say I would just add by assaulting claimant with their U.S. citizen Satanic trust pursuant as found in United States versus White 322 U.S. 694 1944. Excuse me. And then I would add in authorized under the Uniform Commercial Code 1.206, 3.308, and they're securitizing their so-called contract and sold it on Wall Street under the UCC 8.114, and so then I wouldn't include all of that other stuff. They know what you're talking about, and they have sold the claimant into slavery. Pursuant to as found in 62 Virginia. I just put the site in there. Okay, I wouldn't. This part right here, I would just have that in there, and that's it. Okay, and whether you want to put in this stuff here. Now this part here, you're basically really getting up in their face because you're basically saying that they should be put to death, and so. You may or may not want to put that in there. I'm a kind of in-your-face sort of guy, so I don't have a problem. But you have to decide. You got to accept responsibility for this, and so you got to decide. Anyways, they're converting your right to travel, and let's see here, into a privilege by demanding an excise tax for traveling without registration. And so then, and here's cases that talk about it, okay? And the claimant has exercised his right to ignore your color of law, okay? And under the Supreme Court has ruled that claimant exercise of a constitutional guaranteed right cannot be converted into a crime. And Steve Dye, oops, I gotta highlight that one too. Is presuming that you're a U.S. citizen, and Steve Dye has no evidence of the claimant's citizenship, and his presumptions are not a means of escaping constitutional limitations, and you've been held in the city jail in excess of 24 hours, is being restrained of your liberty, and so, again, it just goes down point for point. And so if you want to sit down and read it, I would suggest you do so. I mean, if you're going to use this thing, you got to know exactly what you're doing, okay? And so then this is where it talks about the next of friend, okay? And this is the last statement. Affirmation of claim by claimant's next of friend pursuant to Rule 201 of your Rules of Evidence and Locus Sigilli. And that's where my name is, best friend, on behalf of the claimant in and for the above foregoing claim for writ of habeas corpus because claimant is imprisoned in their jail by the respondent, do hereby attest and affirm under pains of penalty of perjury pursuant to 28 U.S.C. 1746-1. The reason that's there is because it's not in United States, okay? It's in Texas, okay? United States is 10 square miles over there between Virginia and Maryland. That's true. And so that's why I put that in there, 1746-1. And if you have any questions about that, look it up and see what it says. That the above foregoing statements are true, correct to the best of my ability, and further. And so then you got to change all that stuff to your name and address, postal address, and there's the footer that I made.
My contact information is my blog is sovereigntyinternational.wordpress.com. My website is sovereigntyinternational.fyi. My email address is engineerwin@yahoo.com. My YouTube profile, I have two of them, Sovereign Living and Sovereignty International. My Facebook community page, I deleted it due to censorship on the part of Facebook. My private group on Facebook called Sovereignty International is being deleted. It takes time to ban 17,000 people off your group, and I'm not going to let Facebook profit from my hard work. My Yahoo private group is called Administering Your Public Servants. My Google private group is called Administering Your Public Servants. Follow me at Twitter on Engineer Win. And follow me at VidMe at Sovereignty International. And follow me on Steemit at Sovereignty International. And yeah, check it out. And if you follow me on Steemit, I'll follow you back.
Now, so this document is going to be in the files directory. So you can let me actually go to review, and I'll accept all the changes that I made. So that'll remove those formatting changes and things that I made. And we'll turn the track changes off. But so that's how you do it, okay? So as then what you do is you have to serve it on, you have to make, you got to have an original, you got to have original and a copy, okay? So you go there to court with an original and actually 2 copies, okay? Because you got to serve the prosecutor, and if there's more than one defendant, then you got to serve them each with a copy. Usually it's just one defendant because they're only in one jail, okay? But so you go there with an original and at least 2 copies because you want a copy too, okay? You don't want to go and file it down there and not have a copy for your own records. So I always to go down there with an original and 2 copies. And so, and you get the clerk to sign and do all 3. The clerk is going to keep the original, and so then, like the certificate of service, you're going to do that afterwards. Okay, you're going to file that into the case afterwards, after you serve them, right? And this here is their return. So that actually, they're just blank copies. This is all you're going to do with this. There'll be nothing on them, and they will fill that stuff out right there. And if they want to use it, they might decide they don't want to use it. This stuff here and all of this down to here, what you do is that's where you need the original and 2 copies, because you got to serve one on the prosecutor and keep a copy for yourself. And because you always got to keep a copy for yourself. And so, yeah, so an original and 2 copies. You go and get it filed. This one, here is not even going to be filled out. Okay, it'll just be blank. And so all you don't need copies of that because I mean, you can just print them off if you need them. There's nothing unique on it, okay? And so you just serve it on the pigs.
Check out my other videos: Bankster Thieves playlist, Roman Cult playlist, Bankrupt Corporate So-Called Governments, Bar Members 1 through 3, Do-It-Yourself How Not to Volunteer for the Selective Service in the Draft, Martial Law is Here, Do-It-Yourself No Income Tax, Do-It-Yourself Free Mail 1 and 2, Do-It-Yourself Kangaroo Courts 1 through 9, Canada Border Pigs playlist, Bar Members and Their Satanic Connections playlist.
And PEG, by the way, is an acronym, stands for Persons in Government Who Intend to Perjure their Oath. And the reason they intend to perjure their oath is because they're operating in their private capacity under the the Federal Tax Lien Act of 1966. Matter of fact, did I even put that in there? Private capacity. Let's see if private automobile. Oh, well, I need to add in something here. Okay. Cases of restraint. Let's see, where am I going to put that? No, evidence. Let's do the Tax Lien Act. Here we go. Paragraph 15 is operating and then I have a court citation that I want to add to that too. So I'll add the court citation in and operating in its private capacity using the Federal Tax Lien Act of 1966. I mean, now we just juiced it up a little bit. I love to juice them up. Anyway, so I'll have to fix this up, but that's essentially what you do. And if you want to send it to me, that's how I'm going to fix it or mess with it, is I'll turn on track changes, and then you have to either accept or reject the changes and look at the comments. If you handwrite it, then you're not going to need my 2 bits in there. Like that, and that would be a case where you're actually in jail and you're doing one for yourself. And so then handwriting, it's just fine. You need some paper and a pen, and that's it. So then you can get your butt out of there. Anyway, so this is a habeas corpus. This is how it's done. It's pretty straightforward. Any questions? I think I pretty well covered it all. But between this and the video, okay, I got a video up about habeas corpus as well. Do it yourself habeas corpus. And so that's not this is going to be published on both the free YouTube channel and the subscription YouTube channel, because this is something that's really important. Everybody needs to have it. Anyways, so thanks for watching. Have a great day.